welcome to Explore Opera for Kids. My name is Madeline Elizondo, and I'm the Education Coordinator for Opera San Antonio. Today, I get to be your guide as we take a magical journey and look behind the scenes of how we make an opera. I'm standing here in front of the beautiful Tobin Center for the Performing Arts, home to Opera San Antonio and the place where all the magic happens when we produce an opera. Would you like to take a peek inside?
Yes!
Wonderful! Well, put on your explorer hats and follow me as we take a look behind the scenes. Guess where I am? I'm standing inside the orchestra pit. As you can see, it is a literal pit under the stage so that the audience can see and hear the singers on the stage much better. It also allows the singers on stage to have a better sight line to the maestro, which is the Italian word for conductor, who would stand right over here. Wow, can you see the view from here? As the maestro, you can see the entire audience, a full view of the stage and the orchestra. And look at this, what a treat. Look what I found. It's a score by the composer Mozart. Mozart is one of the most famous and well-known composers and was born in 1756. He began studying music when he was just a little boy and composed his first piece of music at the age of 5. And look, can anybody tell me what this is?
Baton!
That's right, it's a baton. A baton is the tool that a maestro uses to keep all of the musicians of the orchestra together. He or she uses this magic baton to shape the sound of the music. The maestro shapes the music by telling the musicians when to play louder, softer, faster, slower, and helps them start and stop. Playing in an orchestra is so much fun. Maybe one day you can play in an orchestra too.
Yes!
Let's go explore some more. My goodness, what a treat. Hi, Lauren.
Hi, Madeline. Come join me.
Wonderful. Goodness, so what we have discovered is Miss E. Lauren Meeker, amazing stage director and now the general and artistic director for Opera San Antonio. She's sitting back here in one of our backstage artist dressing rooms. What a treat to find you, Lauren.
It's a treat to be here.
So what goes on in these backstage dressing rooms?
So usually in these dressing rooms, artists, our conductors, our orchestra are getting ready before the show. And sometimes that means putting on makeup and costumes. And sometimes that means practicing your music.
Wow, and is it pretty easy access to the stage from here?
Oh my goodness, it's so easy. So we have 4 dressing rooms just up on this level alone, and there are tons more downstairs for our bigger groups like our chorus and our orchestra and the extras in the show. But all we have to do is sneak right outside these doors and we're on stage.
Do you think you could show us what goes on behind the stage?
Sure, I'd be happy to give you a tour.
It's gonna be amazing. Would y'all like to come with us?
Yes!
Wow, look how massive this space is. Doesn't really look like much of anything now, though. How do you bring the magic of a story to life when you produce an opera?
Okay, so there's not a lot here, which means our company is responsible for creating just about everything you see when you come to the theater. So we're going to bring in what we call the set or scenery. Those are the buildings. We're going to bring in equipment to light all of the singers on the stage. We bring in costumes for the singers to wear. We have stagehands who help us create and move the space around us. Sometimes we're even using extras, or dancers, or even people that help us put together fight scenes. It really does take a village to make this world come to life for a performance.
That's amazing. And are the words sung in English at an opera? Because if not, how would we understand?
Great question. So most of the operas we produce are not in English, but we have this really exciting trick where we actually take an English translation and we put it onto a screen way up at the top of the front of the stage so that any audience member can follow along in English while the singers are going through the performance.
Wonderful, but Lauren, I don't see a place for any microphones on this stage. How would we hear singers over the orchestra?
Well, that is part of the magic of opera. So singers train for many, many years to be able to project or create enough volume with their voice to be heard over an entire orchestra, sometimes over a whole choir, maybe 40 people of other singers, and they have to do that without the use of a microphone. So this is why what you hear in performance with an opera on the stage may sound a little different than what you're used to hearing on the radio.
So Lauren, we keep using this word opera. What is an opera?
Okay, so in the simplest terms, an opera is a story set entirely to music. And it's without the use of amplification. So no microphones for singers, no microphones for our orchestra. It's part play, it's part concert, it's part vocal recital, it's part choir music. Sometimes we even get to work with the ballet. And all of these artists work together to paint, to build sets from scratch, to design costumes, and even to configure the lights. You know, opera is really the only genre that truly encompasses all of the arts while telling a story through the power of music.
Okay, I think we've got it. Can you help me put together this opera puzzle? If I remember correctly, the first thing we need to make an opera is...
Story!
That's right, a story. But wait. What happens next? Who is in charge of actually writing the music for the story? Can you guess it?
Composer!
That's right, the composer. Composers work closely with someone called a librettist to make the words easier to sing in their language of choice. This is similar to someone who would adapt a novel into a script for a movie or a play. Now, who do we get to perform the music?
Singers!
Why, singers, of course. We can't have an opera without singers. And how do we bring their characters to life? Well, these singers need costumes and a beautiful set behind them. But what do the singers sing to? Do they sing a cappella without music accompanying them? That's right. Well, then who plays with them?
Orchestra!
The orchestra. Very good. Now it seems we have one very important piece of the puzzle left. There are so many elements that must come together to produce an opera, but we don't have time for a 1,000-piece puzzle. Do you remember our look inside the orchestra pit? Who do we need to lead the orchestra and singers to keep everyone together?
Maestro!
The maestro! Wonderful. When we add all these pieces together, we truly get magic. And now I'd like to introduce you to Francesco Milioto, maestro and music director for Opera San Antonio. He's going to teach you a little bit about his duties as maestro and some famous popular Italian words we use in opera.
Hi, everyone. As a conductor, it's my job to feel and paint musical pictures that are clear and easy to follow. Members of the orchestra, the chorus, and soloists all follow the beat I set with my magic conductor's baton. We like to use terms like presto and allegro for music that is in a fast tempo. And for music in a slower tempo, we can use terms like lento and adagio. These, along with many other terms, are carefully placed in the music by composers to let us know how fast or slow the composer's music needs to be performed. Now, here's what it looks like to conduct in a fast tempo. And this is what something in a slower tempo might look like. Now, in opera, when a piece is finished, we like to use the terms bravo, brava, or even bravi tutti. This is how the audience lets the singers know that they're doing a great job.
Wonderful. Thank you, Francesco. And up next, we have our first apprentice artist, Alexandra Sanchez. She's going to be performing a song from The Marriage of Figaro, or Le Nozze di Figaro, by the composer Mozart. In this opera, her character is a lovesick young page boy named Cherubino. Cherubino expresses his feelings of love to the beautiful countess and her young maid, Susanna. Aww. Here's Alexandra performing Voi che sapete.
Brava, brava, Alexandra. Did you know that Mozart wrote operas in Italian and in German? Sometimes composers chose to write in their native language in addition to the traditional Italian. And they sometimes use text paired with specific instruments to help animate characters within the story. This technique is still used today in the cartoons and animated films that we watch. In this next piece, I want you to listen to how Mozart uses his musical genius to bring two bird-like characters to life as they playfully fall in love. This duet, a piece sung by two singers, is from the opera The Magic Flute, or in German, Die Zauberflöte. It is performed by apprentice artists Rob Saldana and Bronwyn White, playing the characters of Papageno and Papagena. We hope you enjoy it.
Bist du mir nur ganz gegeben? Nur so sei mein liebes Weibchen. Mein liebes Weibchen, mein liebes Weibchen. Welche Freude wird das sein, wenn die Götter uns bedenken, unser liebe Kinder schenken, unser liebe Kinder schenken, so liebe kleine Kinderlein, 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 so liebe kleine Kinderlein, so liebe kleine Kinderlein, ist eine kleine Papageno, dann wieder eine Papageno, 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 Papageno. Es ist das höchste der Gefühle. Wie Papageno, 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 der Eltern singen werden sein. Es ist das höchste der Gefühle. Wenn wir Papageno, der Eltern singen werden sein. Papageno, 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 der Eltern singen werden sein. Papageno, 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 der Eltern singen werden sein. Der Eltern singen werden sein. Der Eltern singen werden sein. Papageno, 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 Papageno.
Well, we hope you've experienced a little bit of the magic of opera today. Thank you so much for joining us. And please be sure to join us next week as we explore operas inspired by fairy tales and fables. Until then, continue to explore opera on your own by visiting our website, operasa.org, for links to free student streams. Thank you and see you next week. Bye-bye.